guys, it's Megan. Happy New Year. I am so excited to see you today, and I hope you had an awesome New Year's Eve and aren't too hungover today. So I wanted to make this video wrapping up my year of 2015, my personal changes and exciting things that happened in 2015, because 2015 was a really awesome year for me and it had some great experiences and also really big life changes. So I wanted to look back and pretty much do this video for myself and for my future self to look at and hear me stumble over my own words and just remember how exciting this year was, and I'm hoping that in years to come they will be just as exciting and I'll want to do a video like this so I can have just this memory of all the things that I did this year, because when I was, of course, writing down my list as usual, I was like, I don't think I had that many great things this year, that many exciting things, and I have quite a few, so I'm really excited to share them with you guys. And I don't know if you can tell, but I have more purpley hair. I'm super in love with it. This is the Vidal Sassoon in London Lilac, which my friend Kristen Papulus uses, and I am super in love with it. And it got a little messed up here, so it's on my face, so don't notice that, disregard that if you notice it, and now you definitely do because I pointed it out. But I'm just gonna jump into it. So I'm going to first talk about my jobs that I had this year. So starting 2015, I was still working at Bed Bath & Beyond, and I had just changed from a customer service specialist type of a person to a bridal consultant, and that was such a great change because I was so done with getting all the nasty people at customer service and having to solve problems, and it was just a very draining position. So when I moved to the bridal consultant position, it was such a huge difference. It was so much more positive, and I got to walk couples around the store and help them with their registry, and that was so amazing to make connections like that and just help people out during one of the happiest times of their lives. So I was really happy with my position as a bridal consultant, and I do miss it a little bit sometimes, but I knew I didn't want to stay in retail for much longer. I was exhausted. Retail hours are ridiculous and you don't have any control over when you work. At least where I worked, I didn't have any control. So I was really trying to focus on finding a full-time job, and that whole process was so terrible. I know pretty much all of my friends who graduated the same year as me had a very hard time finding full-time work in a steady position, so not a temp position or a part-time, just a real job. And I was so blessed and lucky enough to have a connection at this the place that I'm working at now. My dad used to work with a lady that knows the owner, and my grandparents are actually her neighbors. So it just so worked out that they were looking for a marketing person to do more of an entry-level job, and I'm still there now, and I will be there for a year at the end of March. So I have the email still on my desktop from when, after my interview, I was given the job by the owner, and it just sits on my desktop and I can look back on it, and it just felt like the right fit from the moment I stepped in the door, and I am so thankful and grateful to have the job that I do. And I know I don't talk about it a lot because I work at an extremely small company and they do a very specific thing, so I don't want to give too many details, and I do such a variety of things. I'm a very catch-all type position. I do administrative work, I do exporting, I do their website, I have learned how to use a forklift. So I just do a bunch of different things, and it's very exciting and different, and it's in a different field than I expected to work in, and the people there are amazing. So I'm just so thankful that I had the luckiness or the amazing chance to have this position and to actually enjoy what I do, because I know some of my friends who got their first job, they are already looking for new work, and I just feel extremely blessed to not feel like I need to start looking for work again, because I'm very, very happy with the position that I'm in and the place that I'm working at. So getting a full-time job this year was the most exciting thing and the biggest life change, and it really did change my life, and I'm just so thankful and grateful. And sometimes when I'm really stressed out at work, I just try to remind myself how hard it and how long it took me to get a really great job. So I try to pinch myself when I'm feeling stressed out and just be like, be grateful you even have a job to be stressed out about, because I know how hard it was when I didn't have a job. And no matter how much stress I have at this job, it is nowhere near the stress of needing a job. So I'm just so thankful not to be working in retail and not to be unemployed. I'm loving my position, and I really appreciate all of you guys who followed me on that journey at the beginning of this year and ever since last May May of 2014 when I graduated and was starting to look for work. It was a long process, like you guys saw, and it was really, really frustrating. So now that I'm in a position that I really love, it's a world of difference. Talking about all these exciting things made me really hot, so I had to turn on my fan. But those were like my different job changes this year, and it was just a really exciting year when it comes to my job. So now I'm just going to talk about some of the exciting experiences and trips that I had this year, because I did a lot this year, actually. So my biggest and most exciting thing that we did as a family this year was take a trip to California. And we all have wanted to go to California so bad, and it was really a dream come true to go out there. And we went over my birthday, which is the 4th of July, and that made it even more special. And we went to Disneyland on my birthday because that's what I really wanted to do, and it was just so much fun, and I just love California. I really, really would love to live there one day. It was gorgeous. I loved Irvine. We spent a lot of time in Irvine, and LA was obviously amazing, and we also really loved San Diego. It was much more chill there, and it was absolutely beautiful. So we just loved California. We wish it was closer so we could go visit more often, but it's definitely in the back of my mind that I really want to live there one day, because it was just so amazing. And my sister and I talk about the Grove all the time. We're like, oh, I wish we could go to the Grove right now. It was just so awesome, and they literally have everything there. California, for those of you who live in California, you have no idea how lucky you are. It is like a world of its own out there. It is so, so amazing. So that was definitely my favorite experience that I had this year. And I also took a trip at the very beginning of 2015, from the end of 2015 into at the end of 2014 into 2015, my sister and I went to visit our cousins in Florida, and that was really fun. And it's weird because we were there a year ago during this time, and we kind of miss being out there because we went to the beach on New Year's Day, and it was just, again, it's so different from where we live, and it was a really great time to spend with my young cousins and see them a little more, because we don't get to see them enough, and I really, really miss them. So that was a fun way to start 2015 last year. And just recently, my sister and I took a mini trip to Baltimore, which is where I went to college. And so we went to all my favorite restaurants and did my favorite things from Baltimore and just relaxed and had a really nice time. And I'll link my vlog down below because I vlogged that trip, and it's really fun to watch it back. Even though I just went on the trip, I was like, oh my god, that was so awesome. And I just love going on little trips, and I want to do that more in 2016. Okay, for my birthday this year, like I said, we were in California over my birthday, but for a birthday party, which I don't have a birthday party every year, I wanted to do something special this year. It just I don't know, when you get that feeling like, I want to do this awesome thing, I had that stuck in my head, and so I really wanted to do a hibachi dinner with my friends. So, it was amazing. Like, all of my friends were all in one place and we had the most amazing hibachi dinner, and I had never done it before, but it was so much fun and so delicious, and it was so incredible that all of the people that I really, really care about all came together and met each other for the first time or hung out like we always have, and it was just a really fun experience, and I definitely want to do hibachi again. I haven't since then, but I really want to, and yeah, that birthday was just so much fun with all of my crazy friends. I also went to see the Rockettes in New York City for the first time I guess it was right before Thanksgiving. My family went, and that was so amazing. Like, to see something live that you have only ever seen like on TV is so breathtaking and like a pinch me moment, because it just didn't seem real that we were there, but it was so awesome. And I told my family we have got to do this every year because it is just too cool. And I don't know, if you've never seen the Rockettes, I really, really recommend going. And we went basically on the opening weekend, so it wasn't as busy because Thanksgiving hadn't happened yet, and it wasn't like between Thanksgiving and Christmas, which I'm sure it's really busy then. So we just absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to go again. I also went to a few concerts this year, and the most exciting one was definitely when my friend Alyssa and I went to see Taylor Swift during the summer. That concert, oh my god, me and Alyssa were like, oh, we just bond over Taylor Swift. Like, we love Taylor, and I was never really a big T-Swift fan, but when her 1989 CD came out, I was like converted. Like, I became so in love with T-Swift, like, it was crazy. Like a light bulb switched in my head, and it was just like, I'm in love with you, T-Swift. So we got tickets in October of 2014, so like 6 or more months before the actual concert. And when the concert actually happened, it was everything we dreamed of. We were screaming the whole time, we were like crying. It was so amazing, and we can't wait to go see her again. So T-Swift, please come out with a new CD like very soon, because we want to go and we want to be on the floor this time. My family and I also saw One Direction. We had seen them last year as well in 2014, and we saw them again this year, and that was awesome. So it was just the 4 boys this year because it was after Zayn left. Ugh, what a loser. And we were on the floor this year for the concert, and that was incredible. Like, we weren't like at the stage or anything, but we were way closer than we expected, and we love Niall. Like, Niall is our number one, and we just loved it. We were screaming the whole time, and I didn't really know the CD very well, which is embarrassing to go to a concert when you don't really know the words, but I was so obsessed with T-Swift, I wasn't really listening to the One Direction. Guilty. But we just loved going to their concert, and it's so sad that they're going on a break or whatever, and we'll probably never get to see them in concert again, but we really, really loved seeing them both times that we did. And honestly, Zayn not being there didn't make a difference at all, because when we saw all 5 of them, Zayn didn't speak once, so he's not missed at all in my perspective, but we just loved it, and they are just so fun, and I'm totally in love with them. In December, my mom and I took my grandma to see Kenny G in concert, who is my grandma's favorite musician, and for those of you guys who don't know, he is an incredible saxophone player, and I knew that he was like very well known for being a saxophone player, and I knew my grandma loved him, so when we saw that he was coming to a really close by like venue, we took my grandma to see him, and it was seriously one of the most amazing concerts I've ever been to. And I have seen a lot of concerts. I love going to concerts. It's one of my favorite things. And I had never seen a concert where it was just instrumental. Like, Kenny G doesn't sing, he doesn't have singers or whatever, but it's just him and his band playing their instruments, and it was mind-blowing. Like, he is so talented, all of his band is so talented, and I would definitely love to see him again. Even though I wasn't a big Kenny G fan, like, I knew that he was great, but I wasn't like a fan. Now I'm like a die-hard Kenny G fan. Like, I cannot wait to see him again. It was so amazing, and for anyone who is really into concerts or live music, or just appreciates music, I really, really recommend seeing Kenny G because the tickets were very inexpensive for the quality of the music and how long he played. He played for about 3 hours, and that is like unheard of with concerts. So that was just a really fun time, and I became a new Kenny G fan this year. Okay, I think those were all of the exciting, like, things that I did this year, but 2015 was a really, like, it was just a happy year for me, and I think it was because all of these great things were happening, and I really pushed myself out of my comfort zone a lot more than I have in the past. I tried to say yes to doing a lot of things. In the past, I would always try to come up with an excuse why I couldn't do something or I didn't want to do something, but this year, especially over the summer when like my friends and I were getting together a lot, I just always tried to say yes when things were happening, and I think that made a huge difference for me. And I have a lot of social anxiety, even though it seems like I'm really bubbly and outgoing, and I am, but I do have trepidations when it comes to spending time with groups of people. I get really nervous, and even if it's people that I know and have like spent years of my life with, I just get really, really nervous, and I have tried to push myself a lot more this year, and I think it's made a huge difference with how happy I am overall. And I know that getting a full-time job has really, really helped me. I'm a person that when I have a schedule and I know that I have to be a certain place and do certain things, I just function a lot better than like free-falling and not really knowing what I'm doing with my life. So I think everything all combined made 2015 one of the best years of my life, and it wasn't like the greatest like every single moment of every single day, but I think that it was a really big change for me, and it just, I don't know, it's hard to explain unless you lived it, and I'm sure a lot of you guys had similar experiences either this year or years in the past where it was just like a good year, and I'm just really thankful that 2015 was so good to me, and I really hope that 2016 brings just as much happiness and that I can push myself even more to do things that I didn't think that I could do or would want to do, and I just really look forward to seeing what 2016 brings. And even though I listed like all these things that I did with people and different like fun things, I also tried to really push myself to do more things alone this year. I find that like I said, I like to do, like, say no to things and not really go out with people or whatever. And I still want to do things. Like, it's not that I never want to do things, but sometimes I want to do something that no one else wants to do, and I've been trying to push myself to just do those things, even if it is by myself, like go see a movie that I want to see, or go to a restaurant, and it's hard to do it. It definitely makes me very nervous to do it, but I think it's good to do things that make you nervous because it helps you grow a lot as a person. And I'm a very introspective person. My friend Alyssa and I were very, very similar, and it was really awesome to get closer to Alyssa over this year, and we just think a lot of the same ways, and it's really nice to have a friend like that you can really talk to and just like share all your thoughts, and when the person thinks the same way as you, it's like amazing. So it was really fun to open up to a new person this year, and Alyssa and I have known each other for a long time, but we really grew together this year and really helped each other out through some hard times. So that was a really great like friendship that grew this year, and I'm just so thankful for you, Alyssa, and all my friends. I just love all of my friends, and I don't get to see them as much because we're all over the map, and it's hard to get, like, everyone has different schedules, so it's hard to plan a time to see each other, but it was so much fun also this year to go visit Chloe for the weekend, and I really hope we can do that more in 2016 because we lived together for 4 years, and now that we're apart most of the year, it's so sad and I miss her so much. So I hope in 2016 we can spend more time together and just visit each other more, because it was a really special weekend when we spent it together. It was just like we were back in college. So this year was absolutely amazing, and I hope that you had an awesome 2015 as well. And if you want to, please leave me a comment with the favorite or your best thing or best memory of 2015. And I just think that would be such a great way to look back on your year and feel happy about it, because I know not every year is the best, but there are great things in every year, even when your year is absolutely crappy. And I know everyone has had terrible years and years that you just wish that you could forget, but I know for sure that there has been something awesome that happened this year for you, and I would love to hear it in the comments below. So I hope you all have had an awesome start to your new year. I can't wait to see what 2016 brings for all of us, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye!